Hey there. Welcome back to the Unhoused Wanderer. I am John. So, yesterday and today I've been walking around in some wooded area near Lake Michigan that I haven't been in since I started foraging. It's neat to just see a lot of the same things and even some new things, learn a little bit new. So come along with me and see if you learn anything also. Hey baby turkeys, there's a lot of you guys. Alright, see you later. Oh, the mom's in there, little baby right there. This here is jewelweed, one of my favorite flowers. As you can see, it comes orange and yellow. It will have alternately arranged leaves, a nice breakable watery stalk. Now, this plant can be eaten, however it's high in oxalates, which can cause a bit of kidney issues, maybe even kidney stones. The stem is a great part to eat, sparingly. However, as it grows older, the stem does get quite tough, and at that point I wouldn't want to try it. Got me a little bit of jewelweed. I'm gonna try it on camera for you. This isn't so citrusy. I have tasted some before that are a little bit better than this, but it is what it is. Here to have two destroying angels. Let's dig down a little deeper. And yes, here is the little bulb from the initial veil, the veil ring, the slightly detached gills, white cap. This here is a deadly mushroom. Here is some ghost pipe, also known as Indian pipe. Monotropa uniflora is the scientific name. You can tell these are starting to stand up straight. They're no longer shaped as just a little pipe, which means these, especially this little black one, has been pollinated. Massive growth of mushrooms is called northern tooth fungus. And as you see, I get closer, it has teeth rather than pores or scales. It is a very dense mushroom, not considered edible, and it often grows on dead or dying trees. I seem to see it growing mostly on maple trees. These are what I believe to be angel wing mushrooms. They look a lot like, here, let's pick one out. They look a lot like oysters. I ruined that one. However, they will make you sick, and I guess they can give you brain damage. Now, it smells like a nice mushroom. Certainly not going to taste it. But as always, if you cannot identify a mushroom with 100% positivity, throw it away. All right, it's a little late in the year, but I ran across some ramps. These are not in flower. They look nice, little white flowers. I'm not going to dig it up because there aren't a lot here, but here are some bulbs leading to more flowers. Now these you'll find generally under maple trees, although I don't see any maple leaves around here. Oh no, there's one. But anyway, yeah, these, you'll see them growing 1, maybe 2 leaves in the early spring. But then as soon as the canopy comes in, the leaves die back and you get these long flowers. Now this is in the Allium genus. It's related to onion and garlic. And the ramps themselves will have a oniony scent and flavor. Looks like we have a little bushcraft shelter somebody was building. Just laying a bunch of sticks here. Nothing permanent. Here are some berries of the mountain ash or rowan tree. They tend to be bitter and a little sour. Now let's see if I can look in here. It's kind of hard to see, but this is what the trunk of the tree looks like. These are edible. You'll notice they, let me zoom back out. You'll notice these leaflets, compound leaflets, with these bright orange berries at the end. Now you can cook these, mix them with sugar. They're high in vitamin C and pectin, so they are great for jams. Okay, now I'm going to try one of these rowan berries. Actually, I can really see how that could be delicious. It's actually not bad at all. It's a little tart. Little ledge here really makes you think twice about walking here, especially with this huge clump of trees that fell down there. Dangerous. can be hard to see with all this other green going around, but this is a great example of hedge parsley. It looks very similar to poison hemlock. This, however, you see I am touching it. This, however, one key area to look, let's find a good example of this, is the petioles here. You can see they're not solid like, they're not solid like this stalk. Petioles are actually U-shaped. So that's one way you can differentiate this plant from poison hemlock. Another is when you look at the stem and you see this stem has no purple splotches on it. A few streaks, but no purple splotches. And this plant actually has a very pleasant smell to it. I can smell it right now without even breaking the leaves. This lovely little flower here. Cut leaf coneflower is a name for it. Now, it is edible. These leaves, which, as you see, they look, deeply lobed leaflets looking like 3 separate leaves until you get a little closer. Alternating up the stem. And these leaves themselves are edible. Tend to have a peppery taste to them. Great for salads, or start frying them in your eggs, maybe even a tea. Right now I'm going to try the leaf of the cut leaf coneflower. Definitely seems like you need to stir fry it or something to soften it up. It's a little tough for my taste, and I even tried a smaller leaf, so keep that in mind. Found a nice little stash of chicken fat mushrooms in here. See, wow, look at all these. Here, let's look at one. All right. Now, one thing we'll often notice about these shiny, sticky cap, often speckled little brown, irregular yellow pores underneath, and this spotted stem. These are edible. They're not my favorite mushroom. They're kind of gross. Cook up to slimy little nothing, but they are edible. Here's another little stash of chicken fat mushrooms, and as you notice, they grow around pine. On a nice little stand of multiflora, which in the rose family, as you see, it'll have these leaflets. Looks like they all seem to contain 7 on this one. I'm not sure if that's regular. It seems pretty regular. You'll also notice thorns. Now these leaves are edible. Ow! Cut myself open with a thorn though. And then these berries will later turn into rose hips, which are edible as well. They'll turn a very bright red and get quite a bit bigger than that. Alright, got one of these little rose leaves. You can eat these. As usual, gonna try it. Tastes good. A little thick though. I feel like this is something you're gonna have to collect earlier in the year than not, much smaller, hopefully tender leaf. Yeah, that's much better. Came across some more ramps here, ready to seed. It's just a small patch again, so of course I will not be foraging any of this. Check. Here is a dead one. This one will definitely plant more ramps here. It's a good sign. Okay, it appears to be a saber stalk bolete in here. I believe that's what it's called. Found one yesterday, but was inedible. Kind of want to get that one. Looks pretty good. Now I happened upon this plant, which at first I thought was wood nettles because the way it has these little flowers growing on the stems. But then I noticed there were no little trichomes, or whatever those are called, the little prickers. And I noticed how shiny the leaves are. This is apparently a plant called clearweed. As you see, it grows on a very, grows on a very delicate stalk. The leaves are oppositely arranged. It's not poking me at all. Some of these are almost translucent, it looks, you know? And it says that the leaves are edible, although sometimes unpalatable, so I'm going to try this. Okay, here it goes. Clearweed leaf. Bug on it. I mean, it's not bad. I'd say it's just as good as the that coneweed I tried, or coneflower I tried earlier, so.